Hey everybody, this is Tom, and we're back again with a haul video. Picked up a lot of books the past 2 weeks between flea markets and making some trades, and stopped at the local comic shop and got some books in the mail from some other YouTubers. So we'll just get started. And a lot of the books you'll see here are mostly Spider-Man books, which is great. I banged out a lot of books that I needed for my Spider-Man run. But before I do that, I went to grab some lunch the other day, and I saw this, and I just thought this was kind of cool. It's the kind of the coolest looking chip bag I've ever seen. Thought the artwork on this was kind of cool. I don't think I've ever seen a chip bag that looked that cool, so I just wanted to show that. So on with the books. The first group of books are books that I got in trade from a fellow YouTuber, OMFGRick. Rick's made some trades with some other YouTubers, Fool Killer and Vin Crew and a couple other people, and I've got a bunch of books to send to him as well. Rick, I haven't sent them out yet, so I'm hoping to get some of them out tomorrow. Rick sent me his books. I got them earlier the week, and he spent like $30 on shipping, and all his books came in Mylar, and I'm like, wow. I said, I've got to try to put a little bit something nicer in the package. So I'll send yours out. I'm going to send the first group out tomorrow. I'll probably send them in a couple different packs, but you'll see. But they'll all go out at the same time. I'm just going to try to save some money on shipping. So the first book I got from him was Amazing Spider-Man 150 and 155. I was glad to get this one, number 174 and 160. Amazing Spider-Man 536. Whoops. And 532. 537. And 548. 397. And I got a feeling I did it to myself again. I don't update my list, and when I made a trade with him, I got a feeling I grabbed a couple of doubles. 396. I think these two were doubles. I just got to start paying attention. 398. 309. 336. And 313. 281, 347. I've passed up on this book so many times over the years, I'm surprised I don't have it. 199 and 269. 579. 585. 570. 565. So I made a huge dent in some of my later Spider-Man issues. I'm going to try to get from 200 to 700. I think it's doable. The only big issue for me to get would be the first appearance of Venom. We got 562, 561. This one's definitely a double because I found it the other day in my stuff that I had to put away. I've never seen this cover before. 558, 616, 612, 614. The Return of the Spot, 509. I remember when he made his first appearance back in I think it was the 80s in the Spectacular Spider-Man. I remember those issues. 609, 677, which I think is a double, 649, 627, 629. It's great lizard cover, number 630, 631, 635, and $6.43. So thanks a lot, buddy. I'm going to get your books out hopefully tomorrow. Tomorrow's Monday. I'm going to pack them up and get them shipped out to you. So I'll shoot you a text message when those go out. The next group of books I got from Flea Market Finds. This is a banged up copy of Anarchy 8, but I've seen it in a lot of people's videos. It was only a quarter, so I figured I'd grab this and give it a read. This is a book that I want to try to get into. There's a relatively new YouTuber by the name of Gore Vidal who commented on a couple of my videos. Very smart guy. His channel is pretty cool. To me, it reminds me of like Masterpiece Theater meets comics. You know, it can be a little boring, Masterpiece Theater, but it's also very informative, and you know it's you know, entertaining at times as well. So this was a book he talked about, Strangers in Paradise, and I was intrigued by it, and I found a couple in the quarter bins. So I grabbed a couple issues of this. And guys, check his channel out. It actually is pretty good. I'll put a link in the description bar below with links to a couple other cool channels. But Gore Vidal, he's got a really cool channel. So we got Strangers in Paradise, number 89. Number 54. And this is a book that I don't know anything about, but the artwork, you know, kind of intriguing to me. 53, and black and white interior art. And I'm not a big fan of black and white interiors, but I'm going to give this a shot. I like this cover, number 51. These were all a quarter. And last, number 45. I found a J. Scott Campbell book, Danger Girl, number 7. It actually is a wraparound cover. Unfortunately, I have it bagged and boarded, and I think it also folds out. Paid $2 for that. We got some more Marvel team-ups. I've been finding a lot of these recently. We got number 31, Spider-Man and Iron Fist. Some more Amazing Spider-Man. This is number 2 from the next volume. Found this in the quarter bin, Captain America, number 9, introducing his new shield. I guess this is that energy shield that he had for a while. I found a Michael Turner book for a quarter, Tomb Raider and Witchblade. So I grabbed that. Got another copy of Flaming Carrot, number 25. Found that for a quarter, Ninja Turtles book. There's 3 parts of this. I'm missing one of them. I can't remember which one. Definitely not 25 since I got 2. This is a book that I grabbed just because I liked the cover, and I read, you know, the interior art was okay, but I didn't particularly care for the story. Necroscope, number 1, not my cup of tea. If anybody's into horror books and wants this, let me know. I'll send it to you. Wasn't for me. Found this for 25 cents. It's one of those Elseworld books, prestige format that I didn't have. Batman Haunted Gotham. I think it's a one-shot, so I grabbed that. That was only 25 cents. I picked up the variant copy of this, I think, in my last video. And I found the regular edition for $1. Mighty Avengers number 13. Another Maiden Spider-Man book, number 651 variant, second printing variant. Didn't have that. That was $1. This was a book I was glad to find. I paid. Again, the guy that I go to at the flea market, there's 2 flea markets I go to. One that I went to this past Saturday, which I'll talk about later. But the one that I really like to go to is called Collingswood. And there's a guy in there that has like I said, any back issue that's $10 and under, it's 50% off. So he had, I think $2 or $4 on this book, and I either paid $1 or $2 for it. So this was a pretty decent copy of Batman, except for that chipping down there. No real major creases on it. You know, it's not a key issue. What number is this? This is... Can't make out the number because the cover's so dark. Number 176. So Batman 176. Every now and again I'll come across these, you know, Silver Age Batmans on the cheap, and I'll always pick them up. Found this in the quarter bin. I have this issue already. It's an Adam Hughes cover, but this one is signed by the artist, the interior artist, Louis Small Jr. So I said, why not? I'll pick this up for a quarter. Found some Spider-Woman back issues for $1 a piece. Number 29 with a Spider-Man appearance. Number 37 with Siren's first appearance. I think that's her name from the X-Men. She's Banshee's daughter. And number 20, which is another Spider-Man appearance. So this next book here, I found 2 copies of this, and it was the print run is limited to 10,000. And for those of you who do not know, it's got an ad for Spawn, which predates obviously Spawn #1, but it also predates Malibu Sun. So I grabbed 2 copies of this. These were a quarter, which I was very happy to find these. So I got they're numbered. So I got issue number 1084 and number 6012. It was kind of random to find these 2 books with the same vendor, and the numbering is just so different. You would have thought they would have been a little bit more sequential. But I also found 5 copies of the regular issue. So what I'm going to do with this, I actually got one put aside for Matt, Comic Quarter 410. So that's your copy over there, Matt. I'm going to put 1 copy in my prize pile for when I hit 600 subscribers. And we got 1 copy for me to keep. But I have 2 other copies. And what I'm going to do with these, I'm just going to give them to somebody. If you want this book, and you're a big Spawn collector, you put a message in the comment box, and I'll send these to you. So the first 2 people that say they would like this book, I'll send it to you. No gimmicks, no strings attached. They're yours. I'd like to give a little something back to the community. Actually, there's only one caveat to that. There's another YouTuber who did me a solid recently, which I'll mention later in the video. If he wants a copy of this, then I'm going to send him a copy. I should have said that in advance. But if he's not interested in this book, then there's 2 copies up for grabs. And I'll get those out to you on my dime as well. So I've been into the magazines recently. You know, and I'll do them at the end. I picked up a couple of more Marvel magazines. So next, I got some books from my local comic shop. Amazing Spider-Man 140 was only $3. And I don't know how I always do this, but if you look, it's got a nice little chunk taken out of it. I missed that in the shop. I don't know if that would have prevented me from buying it or not, but I didn't discover it till I got home. Then I found 2 more copies of G.I. Joe #2, J. Scott Campbell cover, and I'm just checking something real quick. Yeah, that's a double for me as well, so I'm actually going to put one of these in my prize pile that I'm going to have. So that, and then I'll just have another one as a backup. Found another copy of Action Comics number 595. First appearance of Silver Banshee. This was a book I was glad to find. This was in the quarter bin, and it's Countdown to Infinite Crisis. And I never knew how Ted Kord died. Spoiler alert, but this book's old enough already. So this shows the death of Ted Kord, the second Blue Beetle. I always known he was dead, but didn't know how it happened, and it happened here. And I'm surprised this book's not a little bit more important or significant, because there are a lot of people who are into the Blue Beetle and are, Ted Kord fans. But you could find this in bargain bins all the time. I've actually passed up on this book in the past, but I found it in the quarter bin, so I grabbed it. This was also in the quarter bin. Some more Marvel team-ups. Number 111. Number 116. G.I. Joe number 3. This is a J. Scott Campbell cover, so I was glad to find that. Number 359 of Amazing Spider-Man in the quarter bin, and this is the first cameo appearance of Carnage. So I was glad to grab that. Found this in the quarter bin, actually. Adventures of Superman, with him racing the Flash. I know there are much older issues of Flash and Superman where they're racing each other that are relatively valuable. So figured I'd grab this since it's the first cover appearance that I have of the two of them racing against each other. Black Lightning number 4, with a Superman appearance. So this was an interesting little buy. I grabbed the entire run of Human Fly except for issue number 1, which I already have. And I didn't realize it at the time, but the later issues of this have some water damage on the back. And again, I didn't notice it till I got home. All of his quarter bins are on the ground, and I'm sitting on the floor looking through boxes, and it's not the brightest lighting in there. I don't know how I missed it, but I'll show these to you. So I got the full run of Human Fly for like $3. So Human Fly number 2. Number 3, number 4, number 5. I like this cover. Number 6, number 7. I think it was Big To Do a couple of videos ago. He was talking about a lot of covers that had like skiing stuff in the 70s. Well, here he is with a snow skier. So that's number 7. Number 8, number 9, number 10, number 11. Another cool cover. I like the yellow and the reds. I think that's really, really awesome looking. So that's number 12. Another skiing issue, number 13. I don't know what happened to Human Fly. I'll have to read this. I don't know if he died in these issues or not, or he's just a character that went away, never to be seen again. Number 14, number 15, 16, and unfortunately these later issues have some water damage. 17, 18, 19. High Wire to Heaven, so maybe he dies in this issue. I'm not sure. I'll have to read those and check it out. I've got so many books that I need to read. Sometimes I'll buy books and I'll never read them. I sometimes will just buy books based on the cover arts and I like it, or I'm putting like a huge run together, and eventually I'll sit down and read them. But there's a lot of books that I buy that I've never read. I don't know how the rest of you guys do your collecting, if you read every book you buy. I know some of you do, as I've asked, but there's just so many books that I have in my collection that I just never read for one reason or another, but I have them. Marvel Team Up 147, Marvel 2-in-1, another Marvel Team Up. These Marvel Team Ups were only $1, and they're in nice shape. Red Sonja number 1, I paid $1 for that. I think 1 or 2 videos ago I picked up number 2, so I got the 2-issue series of that. And last of the quarter books, I believe, number 120, Marvel team up with Dominic Fortune. But I don't really know anything about him. So those are some nice little finds. Grabbed this for $3. Amazing Spider-Man, number 141. I don't have many books below number 200, so anytime I can see one out there, I'll grab it. And this was a decent price for a book that's in decent shape. So, this next book here I was very, very happy to get. There's a channel guy, he always comments on my videos. His name is The Comics Preacher. I'm sure he comments on a lot of other people's videos. His little logo is actually Preacher number 1. Well, in one of his videos, he had shown that he went to I don't know if it's a thrift store or an antique store, but a store that doesn't, or maybe it's a porn shop, I believe. And they just got in a huge run of comics, and he was paying, I think, 50 cents a piece for them. And he had said that he grabbed a bunch of these and left a bunch of them behind. So I sent him a message and said, hey, if I send you some money, can you just go back and grab me one of them? I don't care, about the condition. It doesn't have to be, in the greatest shape. I just really like the cover a lot. And it's a Dave Stevens cover, who's an artist I'm kind of getting into now. I'm buying a lot of books just based on the artist. And Dave Stevens is one that I'm starting to get a appreciation for. But he said, no, don't worry about it. He goes, I'll take care of you. And he sent me this in the mail, and I got it last week. So thanks, Nate. I appreciate it. Everybody check out his channel, The Comics Preacher. He picks up a lot of interesting stuff. I like his channel a lot, and he picks up some really interesting books. Let's get some books here that didn't need to be in here. Just grab those and move them out real quick. And when I was showing those Rust books before, so Nate, if you're watching, if you want one of those, let me know. If not, then I'll give it to the next guy in line who said that they'd like to get a copy of that. So Planet Comics number 1, great Dave Stevens cover. Next, some books that I got signed. There was a con in New Jersey that I unfortunately couldn't go to, but one of the guys at my job said he was going, and he actually didn't know who Walt Simonson was, so I had given him a book for himself to get signed, but he got me these signed that I had given him for myself. I'm a big World of Warcraft guy, so of course I had to get World of Warcraft number 1 signed. He's the writer on this, unfortunately not the artist. Red Sonja number 1, cover art was done by him. And I'm surprised I didn't have a lot of Walt Simonson books in my collection. Marvel Comics Presents number 1, had him sign that. So these last group of books that I'm going to show, or most of them in this last grouping, I paid $9 for. I went to the flea market yesterday, and I didn't have a lot of time, so I went to the flea market that's a little bit closer to my house. It's called Englishtown Flea Market, and it's been around, God, ever since I've been a little kid. And I don't find a lot of great stuff at that particular flea market, but I couldn't go to my usual stomping grounds. I had to get back, and I didn't have a lot of money to boot. So I did grab a couple of things. I've grabbed this. I had heard that this has been optioned for a TV show or a movie, so I grabbed Lazarus 1, number 1, for cover price. One of the stands that is there, if there's no price on his book, you get it for cover price. So I saw this there, and it was in decent shape. I don't buy a lot of war comics, but it's a 12-center, and I figured, why not? For 12 cents, I'll get a book from I think it was 64 or 65, Charlton Comics, Army War Heroes. I may ultimately wind up trading this to Fool Killer, because he's a big war comics guy, and every time I turn around, I'm trading something with him. So we got that. This was a book I was glad to find. I paid $1 for this. Spoof Comics #1. It's an Adam Hughes cover. Super Femme. Spider Femme. I've never seen this book before, but unfortunately he doesn't do the interior art. The interior art's really bad, but I'd grab this because it's another Adam Hughes cover from my collection. Marvel Premiere #38. I've seen this book make the rounds recently, and it's the first appearance of Weird World. I think Weird World plays a role in the new Secret Wars, which I actually have to get on the stick and start reading that. I have issue 1 and issue 4, some variant covers to those. I don't have issues 2 and 3, so I'm going to have to maybe go on Midtown or my comic shop and order those. And this book was only 50 cents. The Many Ghosts of Dr. Graves. I grabbed this. I thought it was an interesting cover, and I know a lot of guys in the community that are into horror books, so maybe somebody needs this one. Last book I picked up from the flea market yesterday was this Hulk magazine. I grabbed this from one of the outside vendors. He wanted $4 on this, and I only had 3, so I did my best Greco-Fabulous. I said, yeah, I've only got 3. Will you take 3 for it? And I had like a 10 and a 20, but he wound up taking $3 for it. So that was a nice little book for $3. So this book here I picked up from my regular guy that I go to at the other flea market that I attend, where anything is under $10 is, you know, half price. And this is a fabulous book. I paid only $3.50 for it, and I should have taken it out of the bag just to give you guys a glimpse. Here's the back cover. The art in this is awesome. It's there's a hardcover version of this as well, which I might grab as I think it has more pages. This is by Fassner and Larson. I'm just going to quickly open this and let you guys see some of the art in this. They haven't done many comic covers. They've done a couple. Let's see if I can find something that's not overly risque. So far, everything is overly risque. Well, here's a good example of some of the stuff that's in it. And so there's a lot of like sci-fi chick stuff in this. So this was right in my wheelhouse. So I grabbed that for only $3.50. I said, why not? There's actually another copy of that there, not just the hardcover, but another soft cover. I was thinking about getting. I got this book for $1. It has a Red Sonja appearance. So the last book I'm going to show is the best book of the haul. A couple of weeks ago, I had picked up the first appearance of Rocket Raccoon. I think I paid $4 for that. It was one of those Marvel Preview Presents magazines. Well, he had another one there that was in equally rough condition, but it was a significant book, and it's not Star-Lord, unfortunately. I would have loved to have gotten that, but I figured this is a pretty significant book, so I grab it. You don't see it all the time. Marvel Preview Presents The Punisher. This is the Punisher's origin story. Cover's still attached, solidly attached, but it's got a piece missing there. You know, there's some scuffing all over, and someone put a stamp in the middle of it. But I only paid $10 for this, so you know, even in 3.0 condition, which maybe this is. I was looking it up. I think it was like a $40 or $50 book in that condition. So this is a book that I know I would never pony up the money for in, you know, high grade. A, because I'm kind of cheap, and B, I'm not a huge Punisher fan. But I figured I had to get this. This is a pretty significant Punisher book. So that's my haul for this week. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching and comments. I love seeing all the comments. People put comments, a lot of comments lately, and I get to interact with you guys, which is awesome. I'm almost at 600. I think I have 8 or 9 more to go, and then I definitely will do a contest, and I've got a pretty big stack of books, and I'll give you a little peek right now, or some peek. I'm not going to show it, but I have a box set of Arrow Season 2, which I'll also include in the prize package. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you like what you see, and check out OMFGRick's channel, the Comic Preacher channel, and Gore Vidal's channel, and I'll put a link to their channels below. And thanks again for watching, guys, and until next time, take care. Bye.